Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. And if it's your first time here, welcome to the virtual world. This is the place to learn all things VR related to Microsoft Flight Simulator. What you'll see in this video today is basically just going to be eye candy and isn't really related directly to what I want to talk about today. Today's video is going to be a bit different from my previous ones, and I'm going to be asking your opinion on something that I think is obviously very important to all of us in the VR community, and especially regarding our VR experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the question is this: what do you think will be the next truly great VR headset specifically for use in Microsoft Flight Simulator? I'm not just talking about what's going to be the next best general VR headset, but I'm aiming this question at enthusiasts who love VR and Microsoft Flight Simulator and are still waiting for that next great headset that is going to take their VR experience in this simulator to a new level. Now, I know there's quite a few of you out there that will say, well, we already have it. It's the Vario Aero. And you may be right. But full disclosure, I don't own a Vario Aero. I haven't even tried one, so I'm just going on what I've seen and heard from other content creators. The question for me regarding the Aero, regardless of how amazing a lot of people say it is, specifically in this flight simulator, is it unbeatable? I don't know about that. I would hope not, personally, because the tech still has so much more to mature, especially in terms of displays, and I know the Aero has an incredible display, but could another headset come close to rivaling the display of the Aero? And I think the answer to that is going to be a most definite yes. I think by what we've seen with lens technology and the way it is going to advance, we are going to be able to have extremely high resolution, very clear displays, edge-to-edge clarity. And as future headsets utilize eye tracking and dynamic foveated rendering together with some very clever software that companies like Meta are developing right now for their future headsets, such as the Cambria and the successors to the Quest 2, we're going to see headsets that have incredible displays, but also don't necessarily need supercomputers to run them. All of the major players in the VR headset industry are moving forward with this next generation of displays and the software that's going to drive them to vastly improve our experience in VR and also our comfort in VR. Because of the way headsets are right now, they're really not at all comfortable to use for any long duration of time. The effects of it just aren't pleasant. There's eye strain, nausea, the God rays, and all sorts of problems that occur when try to use VR too long. And that is purely down to the displays in the headset simply not being something the majority of people can tolerate for any length of time, and that is just not going to cut it if VR is going to be widely adopted by the masses. It has to get to the point where people can wear a headset without any discomfort and be able to wear it for much longer periods of time. And that definitely applies to those of us that use VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator. People would spend all day in here if they could, I think, in VR, but the majority of us just can't because it's just not that comfortable, I'm afraid. For the majority. I know some people can, but I personally can't do it much longer than 20 minutes to half an hour before I just start feeling I need to have a rest. And that's because the lens and display technology just isn't there yet with the current generation of Fresnel-based headsets. And we are going to see that gradual shift and change happening now. We have Meta with its upcoming successors to the Quest 2. And I say successors because they are going to be releasing more than one headset over the next 1 to 2 to 3 years, that's for sure. There's going to be a few with the Cambria and all of the other successors to the Quest 2 that they will be gradually unveiling. And even though Meta aren't a PC VR focused company anymore, I think they are still going to be setting the standard for lens and display technologies. It seems like their future headsets will be moving away from Fresnel-based lens systems into micro OLED displays. And that, I think, coupled with what's reported to be some very clever software, is going to be quite a game changer for our VR displays. And that is going to create a path that other companies will have to follow. And then we have Apple and Sony coming out with their new headsets in the not too distant future. I know those aren't going to be of much use to us in Microsoft Flight Simulator because that simulator doesn't exist in their universes, but it's going to show where the technology is going, and it's going to give a very clear indication of where other companies are going to need to go. We also have Valve with their next headset, codenamed Deckard, that we're all hoping is going to release in the not too distant future, but none of us know for sure when that will happen. But I think when it does, it's going to be something pretty special. And of course, I need to mention that mythical beast, the unicorn of VR headsets right now, that elephant in the room, the Pimax 12KS. Yes, anyone that's into this knows about this already, so I don't need to really go over it that much, but if it does even half of the things it says it will be able to do, then we may see something again that is going to be quite special in VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so fingers crossed on that one. And there's also HP. Will there be a Reverb G3? I haven't heard of anything concrete at all being talked about with that one, but you never know. They're a big company, they may just drop a bombshell one day and unveil it, so that could be another major contender if HP are keeping up with all of the other headsets and their technology, and they also bring us something cutting edge. They did it with the G2, they came out with something that is still an amazing headset. It's quite possible they could do it again, we'll have to see. So those are all the major players that will be pushing VR and of course AR forward with their next generation of headsets. And you can also pretty much guarantee there's going to be several other smaller companies that are going to be jumping on the bandwagon and producing their own future generations of headsets. Just as I was finishing up recording this video today, there was the announcement from the company known as Pico, who have just unveiled their, I guess you would call it, alternative to the Quest 2, which is it's basically a headset for people that aren't able to buy a Quest 2 in certain countries, such as Germany, and it doesn't bring any really new technology. It's basically is a Quest 2, but it comes with a display port, which it makes it much better for PCVR potentially than the Quest 2 is right now. But whether they'll be developing any more in the future, we'll have to see. Note to Meta, if you're listening, we need a display port in your upcoming headsets for PCVR. No more link cables with horrible compression. So based on this information and everything we know so far about what's coming in the near future and what I think will be the next great headset for Microsoft Flight Simulator, my prediction is this. I think it's going to be something that comes from Meta. It's going to be one of the Quest 2 successors. Now, I don't think it's going to be the Cambria, but I think it may be something that follows that in the next year or so after that debuts. I think because of the muscle that Meta has, they will be able to bring to market a product at a reasonable price. I think Meta are the ones that are going to be controlling the supply chains at the moment. They have the pick of the best engineers, programmers that any other company could hope to have. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to beat them there. I can't really talk for Pimax right now, as there's so little known about it other than just the words and the advertising that it's been given so far, but an actual product has yet to materialize. All we've seen is basically the plastic case. So until we know more about that, I have to reserve my judgment on that one. But I am rooting for them and do support them. To be honest, I'm more excited for what a company like Valve could bring with their next generation of headset. I think that could be something special, but we're not really sure yet when that may materialize. And the same goes for HP as well. I also think the Vario Aero is still going to be a very viable headset for quite some time to come, but as it's at such a high price point, and it really is an enthusiast headset, it still needs to work out a few bugs in my opinion. It has yet to get the motion smoothing and also the local dimming to improve the black levels, so we'll see there. So those are my thoughts, but I want to know, what are your opinions? What do you think is going to be the next headset that takes this sim in VR to a whole new level? And why? Why do you think so? So please leave your comments down below. And if you have any other questions, I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. And if you like the kind of content that I'm producing, please do consider subscribing, and also hit that like button, as it really does help with the channel's visibility and it helps other people discover it. So until my next video, as always, thanks for watching and take it easy.